Do you ever feel like your marketing is just stuck? I mean, you're doing all the right things. You've got the website, you're posting consistently, maybe even running ads, but it still doesn't feel like anything's working. I mean, no leads, no sales, nothing. I get it. It's frustrating. It's kind of like when your Wi-Fi cuts out during a Zoom call. You're frozen mid-sentence, hoping it reconnects. But it doesn't. And everyone else? They've already moved on. That's what broken marketing looks like. You're visible, but not connecting. Now think about your leads. They're clicking, they're opting in, but if they don't hear back right away, and I mean within a few minutes, well, they move on too. Because today, attention spans are short, and patience is shorter. So, the first person to follow up usually wins the sale. Not because they're better, just because they were faster. But here's the good news. Once you fix your follow-up gap, everything changes. Leads turn into conversations, conversations turn into sales and booked calls, and all of it can run automatically in the background. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to stop your leads from ghosting, how to build a plug-and-play follow-up system that works instantly, and how to use a 4-part funnel that converts cold leads into paying customers, even while you sleep. So let's dive in, starting with the one principle most businesses forget. Most people don't lose leads because their offer is bad, they lose them because they just give up too soon. Here's what usually happens. A lead clicks, they download something, maybe even reply, and then nothing, just silence. So what happens next? Well, if you're like most people, absolutely nothing. And that's the problem. Most businesses send one follow-up email, maybe a follow-up DM. They wait a day or two, then they assume that the lead's not interested. But here's what they don't realize. Most leads aren't ignoring you, they just don't trust you yet. And trust takes time. In fact, it usually takes 7 to 14 touch points before someone's ready to take action, to purchase something, to book a call. Google even has a name for this, the 7-11-4 rule. It says that before a customer buys, they need to engage with a brand for 7 hours across 11 touch points on at least 4 platforms. In other words, people need time and repetition in order to trust you. Think of it like planting seeds in a garden. You don't toss one seed in the soil, walk away, and expect a tree the next day. You water it, you tend to it, you keep showing up until one day it takes root. Your leads are no different. If you only show up once, they assume that you're the one that's moved on. But if they keep seeing you across emails, DMs, videos, even comments, they start to feel like they know you. And here's the magic of frequency. It replaces doubt with familiarity. Not because you said the perfect thing, but because you were there, again and again. This is powerful because it also takes some of the stress out of putting yourself out there. After all, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to show up. So if you're wondering why people aren't buying yet, ask yourself this. Have I shown up enough times for them to trust me? If not, good news. That's something you can fix. And next, in point 2, I'll show you how to install a system that does this all for you. So let's say you've cracked the first part. You're showing up consistently, you're building trust, but here's where most businesses still fall apart. Let's say that a lead finally decides to reach out, but no one replies fast enough, or worse, no one replies at all. And so the lead moves on without even a second thought. And that's the silent killer. It's not a lack of interest from your leads, it's a lack of response and a lack of engagement from the business. Ads won't fix it, more leads won't fix it, only a system can fix it. Because most people don't have a lead generation problem. They have a lead response problem, a lead engagement problem. They miss DMs, they take way too long to reply, they let warm leads go cold because they don't have a system that shows up right when it matters most. So here's the fix. You need a system, one that shows up for you every time that a lead does. Imagine your business is a coffee shop, but you only open the door once in a while. You ignore the bell when someone walks in, you take 12 hours to hand over a menu, and if someone leaves without ordering, you never follow up. Well, you wouldn't be surprised if nobody ever bought anything, would you? And yet, that's how most businesses run their lead flow. Now picture this instead. The door opens instantly whenever someone visits. There's a friendly barista who says, "Hey, can I help you find your favorite blend?" And when someone leaves, they get a text. "We saved your order if you ever want to come back." That, my friend, is not just good service, it's smart automation. Your system should work like that coffee shop. Always open, always helpful, always ready. And there's some tools that you can and should be using in order to help you do all of this automatically. So let me break those down for you now, starting with tool number 1, the chat widget. All right, this one seems simple, but it's the first domino. Imagine landing on a website and nothing happens. No message, no welcome, just silence. Well, that's what most website visitors experience, and 85% leave within 30 seconds. But add a smart chat widget and suddenly the page comes alive. The moment someone lands, they see, "Hey, need help with," insert common pain point, I can help you get started. When I say insert common pain point, I mean you need to insert whatever pain point that your business helps someone solve. It's like walking into a shop and being greeted by someone who actually wants to help, and your leads go from lurkers to participants. This isn't just about technology. This is about making your website feel alive and your visitors feel seen and heard and engaged. Okay, tool number 2, the 24/7 DM assistant. So let's talk about DMs, where most opportunities go to die. Because here's how it usually goes. Let's say you decide to open your Instagram or Facebook messages after, well, let's just say a little too long, and when you look inside, it's a mess. There's emoji replies and voice notes and vague messages like, hey, are you still taking clients? You want to reply fast, but you're also running a business. So by the time you get around to it, well, the moment is gone, the lead has moved on. So that's where a 24/7 AI assistant steps in. Now, every DM triggers a warm, thoughtful response within seconds. Something as simple as, hey, great question. Here's how we help people with that. Want to book a quick call to chat more? The automated AI-powered assistant is trained in your tone. It knows your FAQs, and it sounds like you on your best, most patient day. And the best part is it works while you sleep. So instead of missed opportunities, you get ongoing conversations. Okay, tool number 3, the voice agent. This is where things get crazy in the best way possible. Let's say someone finds your website, loves what you do, and decides to call you, but you're in a meeting, or on a walk, or just living your life. Not so fun fact, most small businesses miss over 60% of their calls, and when most callers get voicemail, they hang up and disappear forever. But not with a voice agent. With a voice agent, the call gets answered automatically. Here's what it sounds like.
Hi, thanks for calling. Are you looking to book a session or learn more about how we can help?
The real beauty here, though, is that this isn't just some randomly recorded message, because this AI agent actually talks to them. It asks questions, it captures their info, it qualifies them, and it even books them in right then and there. A lead can call at 8:17 p.m. and be booked in by 8:20. That's not luck. That's what happens when your business can answer calls faster than a human ever could. Okay, tool number 4, the follow-up engine. This one moves mountains, so it's worth paying extra attention here. You see, here's the deal. Most leads won't say yes on the first try. Not because they're not interested, but because life gets in the way. That's why you need a follow-up engine. A follow-up engine automatically sends a helpful email with real value, a quick text that checks in, a soft nudge to rebook or ask questions, and it keeps doing this gently over days or weeks, even months, without spamming. Don't be surprised if there's a lead that you thought ghosted you for 3 weeks, and then suddenly, one day in what feels like completely out of the blue, they reply, thanks for following up, I'm ready to move forward. That kind of win doesn't happen by chance. It happens because your system kept showing up without you lifting a finger. These tools don't just save time. They recover lost leads, they start more conversations, and they create momentum where most businesses stall. It's like having a team that works 24/7 without burnout, except it's software, and it never forgets to follow up. So now that the system's in place, the next step is simple. Turn those leads into buyers. So let me break down how to do that now. Okay, so at this point, you got the opt-in. Someone grabbed your freebie or sent a curious DM, but when you tried to respond, what kind of response did you get? Nothing? Again? Really? Well, like I mentioned before, most people assume that at this point it means the lead is not interested, but in most cases, it just means I'm not ready yet, but I'm still thinking about it. And that's the big problem here. They were interested, but you disappeared before they were ready. Imagine you're sitting at a campfire and a stranger sits down and asks what you do. You say, hey, I help people solve whatever problem you solve. Want to buy now? Then you stand up and walk off into the woods. It'd be weird, right? But that's how most businesses treat email. Instead, what if you stayed at the fire? You told a story, you shared a tip, you asked a question. You weren't selling, you were just showing up again and again. And by the time the stranger was ready, they trusted you. That's what email is. It's the digital version of staying at the fire. You're building a real conversation over time, opposed to, say, delivering your pitch, tossing a business card into the fire, and then disappearing into the forest like some kind of emotionally unavailable woodland consultant. So, let me show you how to avoid that and how to keep that fire burning with just a few simple emails. Email number 1, solve something immediately. The first email is the first impression, so ask what's the number one thing they're stuck on, and then solve it fast. Think, here's a 3-minute walkthrough to get clarity on X. No pitch, just pure value. This is like handing them a warm drink on a cold night without asking for anything in return. Email number 2, tell a story they feel. You see, after you've helped them, show them that they're not alone. Share a quick story of how you or a client or student or customer faced the same frustration and hit a wall and figured it out. This is how you go from stranger to someone who gets it. Email number 3, name the real problem. The fact is, most people don't even really know what's keeping them stuck, so your job here is to shine a flashlight on it. For example, what I'm showing you here is that it's not necessarily your offer, it's the silent leak in your follow-up process. That's the thing that's costing you sales. This email builds tension, so they feel the need for a solution. But still, no hard pitch. Then email number 4, stay at the fire. You see, after this is done, you want to keep showing up. Ideally, at around 2 emails a week. One story, think a client win, a failure, a lesson learned, and one actionable tip, like a framework, or a myth busted, or a checklist. Each email ends with a soft invite or call to action. Something like, if this sounds like you and you're ready, here's where we can talk. No spam, no pressure, just you, still at the campfire, offering insight and warmth. This works because people are looking for voices they trust, not hype, not noise, just someone who keeps showing up. So if you can be that voice, calm, clear, and consistent, you'll be the first one they think of when it's time to take action. And that's how emails turn from ignored to essential. Okay, let's move on to point number 4. So you've started showing up, you've installed the system, you're following up with value. Now what? Well, here's where we bring it all together using a framework I call CASE. After over a decade of doing this, I've found that this is the simplest, most powerful way to turn strangers into customers and clients without doing everything manually. CASE stands for capture attention, activate engagement, sell the offer, and expand the relationship. So let's break it down, starting with C, capture attention. This is where most business owners waste energy. They throw up random content, they boost a post here and there, maybe pray to the algorithm gods. Instead, you need to show up with purpose. So here's how to do it right. First, like we've already discussed, make sure to add a chat widget to your site to instantly greet warm traffic. Then, you can use retargeting ads to re-engage people who already clicked but didn't book. Lastly, focus on creating content that speaks directly to the real pain your audience feels. Let me give you an example hook or first line for a post based on everything we're talking about here. Something like, the reason your calendar is empty isn't your offer, it's your follow-up. That line hits a nerve. It's specific. It grabs attention because attention isn't about being loud. It's about being relevant at the exact right moment. Next up, A, activate engagement. Now that you've got their attention, don't let them drift. Most leads fall through because there's nothing there to catch them. Well, that's where automation steps in. Your chatbot says, what's your biggest challenge right now? Your DM assistant replies with value and a CTA, and a short and sweet mini quiz guides them to the best fit service that you offer. This is how leads go from passive to active. Someone might even reply, I wasn't planning to book a call, but your message nailed what I've been stuck on. That's the power of guided, automated conversation. All right, S, sell the offer. All right, so here's the twist. If you've done everything right so far, the sale doesn't feel like a pitch, because at this point, the lead already knows who you are. They've received value, and they feel seen and understood. Now, the system invites them to buy, or book a clarity session, or discovery call, or whatever else you want. But you don't just drop a calendar link and hope for the best. Instead, the automation explains exactly who the session is for, or what you offer. It sets expectations for what they're going to get, and most importantly of all, it positions your offer as the next most obvious step, not some random gamble. So that way, when your lead shows up on your sales page or decides to hop on a call with you, it's not a cold sell, it's a warm yes. All right, next up, E, expand the relationship. Most businesses stop after the sale, but real businesses are built by what happens after someone says yes, or even no. So keep up the momentum with weekly story-based emails that entertain, teach, and build loyalty. Use a re-engagement sequence for leads who didn't buy yet, and create short retargeting videos on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook that highlight wins and stories. The goal here is really brutally simple. Just stay in their world, not as noise, but as someone they trust. Because when you keep showing up with value, people don't forget you. They refer you. They come back. They become fans. The best part about this whole thing, though, is how it acts like a flywheel with each part fueling the next. One helpful post captures attention. One smart bot activates engagement. One follow-up sequence closes the sale. One great client experience expands the relationship. Even if someone says, not now, they'll stay in your orbit until they're ready. In other words, you're not just building a funnel here, you're building a system that compounds in value over time. Okay, next up is point number 5, which is how to use the strategy of preeminence to go from marketer to trusted advisor, so you'll never have to worry about feeling salesy again. So far, we've talked about tools, systems, and strategies, but here's the truth. None of that works if you still feel awkward about selling. If you're hesitating to follow up, if you're unsure about sending that next message, if you're second guessing yourself every time someone ghosts you, that's not a system problem. It's a mindset problem. Enter the strategy of preeminence. This concept comes from legendary marketer Jay Abraham, and here's the idea. Your job isn't to get more clients or customers. Your job is to become the most trusted advisor in your space. The person your current and potential customers and clients turn to, not because you shouted the loudest, but because you showed up with the most clarity, the most value, and the most heart. You're not chasing people, you're leading them. And when you make that shift, selling becomes effortless. Let me paint a before and after picture for you here. Most people operate like this, on the transactional side of the table here, asking questions like, how do I close more leads? Or what funnel will finally make people buy? Or why does ghosting throw me off so much? As common as this kind of thinking is, it really is reactive and needy and kind of exhausting. And worst of all, it puts your energy in the wrong place because when you're focused on what you can get, your audience feels it. Preeminence strategy, over here on this side of the table though, flips everything around. You stop asking, how do I get them to buy? And you start asking, how can I serve them so well that buying is the next obvious step? You know your system is showing up, you know your emails are adding value, and you trust the process. And that builds confidence, not from hype, but from truth. All this means that you're not worried about who says yes or no today because you know that the right people are coming. And when they do, they already trust you. If you've ever felt pushy selling your offer, if you've ever avoided follow-up because it felt awkward, if you've ever worried that chasing leads will make you look desperate, here's the shift. Your job isn't to chase. Your job is to show up with value until they're ready. And you do that by answering even when they don't, by following up even when they ghost, and by giving before asking, and always sharing tools and stories and proof that helps move them forward. Because the one who keeps showing up with integrity is the one they remember when they're ready to buy. And if you want to be that person, the one that they remember, then your system needs to show up even when you can't. That's why I want to give you my personal, complete automated marketing and follow-up system for free. I'll put a link in the descriptions below that'll give you the exact tools that I use, as well as my done-for-you templates, all of my pre-built automations, and an extended free 30-day trial to the software that I use to make all this happen. No ads, no tech overwhelm, just a faster, smarter way to turn interest into bookings and sales. So click the link below and I'll show you exactly how it works. And if you're looking for even more of my top marketing strategies to help you get more leads, more customers, and more sales, well, you can check out this video right here, which is going to help you simplify your marketing so you can grow your business without the guesswork. All right, I'll see you in there in just a second.